What's good? It's your boy Jay. Back at another reaction video. And it's been a minute since I did a horror story reaction. But first I'm going to tell you what I'm about to react to. It's called Never Invite Strangers. Never invite strangers in your house. Yeah, from Mr. Nightmare. I believe that this is his first horror story that he posted on YouTube. This is how I read it on the web. But this is also a lesson, for real. The title is a lesson. I think the story might be a lesson. Who knows? But I have a story about me with a stranger at the end of this story here. So let's go.
I recently moved into a big house, just temporarily. It's kind of a complicated situation. The house belongs to a family member. They're going to be gone for a few months, that sort of thing. I was going to be there on my own, so I was a little nervous. There wasn't anything in the house when I moved in. There is now. I was in the main hallway unpacking some stuff when the doorbell rang. That put me on edge right away, because the house is at the end of a long drive and kind of out of the way. You would basically have to go looking for this house to find it. There was an old woman at the door. This was in broad daylight, but there was still something kind of off about her. She was really tall, like a full head taller than me, and there was something weird about the way she looked. It was like none of her clothes even fit her properly. She shook my hand and smiled, and told me that she was from the neighborhood council or something. She asked if she could come in and talk to me. My gut reaction was to say no, but I couldn't really think of a reason to. She was just an old woman. What was she going to do? I really wished.
I'll tell you this. I don't care if it was just like I'm about to be like 16. I heard people like my age already have their own house and stuff, right? You just don't know it though. But I know people that have a house that's like my age already, like they moved out. Like got their own house, they paying bills, taxes, everything. And if I was one of them people, and I don't care how old you are, how tall you are, or how short you are. I don't even care if it was like a little girl that wants to just come in, like you know, I just like 5-year-old kid coming in, or a really elderly woman wants to come in. You don't know what they got in their pockets, cause you don't know what's on them. You don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know if it's a setup. There's always something with somebody, even me. So, but what I'm trying to say is like, you just gotta watch out for your surroundings and stuff. So, I'm saying like, I don't care if it was an old woman. I don't care if it was a little kid. I still ain't letting you in if I don't know you.
I just slammed the door in her face. I brought her into the living room and she sort of tottered behind me. Like her feet didn't even fit into her shoes properly. She sat down without asking and grinned at me until I took a seat across from her. For about half a minute she didn't say anything, just smiled and stared at me while I got increasingly awkward. Just as I was about to break the silence, she fished in her pocket and pulled out this really big old-fashioned sweet. The type that comes in a see-through wrapper.
Here,
she said.
eat this.
I should probably point out here that she spoke really quietly, so it was difficult to hear anything she said. I accepted the sweet and unwrapped it. It was dark red, almost black. I popped it in my mouth because she was still grinning at me and nodding her head. Have you ever walked around behind a supermarket where they keep the big bins? They throw meat that's gone bad in those. Imagine that rancid smell, but on a hot summer day. It's so thick you can almost feel it in the air. That's what the sweet tasted like. I wanted to spit the thing out on the floor, but social niceties made me chew the thing and force it down my throat. The woman was talking all the time, but between the taste and her quiet voice, I barely heard her. My mouth tasted like rotten meat, so I politely told her I was going to get some water and ran into the kitchen. When I came back, she was gone. I had been in the kitchen for less than 30 seconds.
Hold up. That's a red flag right there. I told you, any stranger at any age, I ain't letting you in. I don't really care if you're an acquaintance. I have to know more about you. Like your full name, your birthday, and where do you went to? I don't need like your height, date of birth, like all of that. I don't know. If you're a stranger at any age, no, you ain't coming in my house. I pay the bills. I bought all this stuff. Go on, bother somebody else. Go on. But you said she was gone. See, something's up. She could be like one of those savages like that's between the ages of like 21 to 49. They are criminals at that advanced age. I'm like, I don't care if she's at a grandmother's age. My grandmother, like my grandmothers, all each other, still have the strength to do what a real criminal would do, but they wouldn't do it though. I'm using their ages as an example, and my younger cousins, they can still do that, but they know not to do that. Like any age, they'll do something. They should know if they want to, but they would. I mean, they can, but they wouldn't though. On my families, they wouldn't, because we have good training for each other. And my mother trained me really well. She used to tell me, don't talk to strangers. And guess what? I don't talk to strangers. If you had my, like today I was at the house by myself. Nobody came to my house. Because I barely know people since some had met, either got a job or moved out. You know, the usual stuff, because I'm in high school. And if I say, this is my house now, new set of rules since it's just me. No strangers, no random phone calls or prank calls. That's the worst stuff. But, like, even if I was stupid enough to let you come in my house, and then I say I'm about to use the bathroom, or I'm about to go get some water, and then I find out that you're gone, police right there. Then my mother or anybody. I know she's gonna be a little mad if that happened, but that never happened and never will. So something is up.
My first reaction probably should have been to assume that she went to the bathroom or had to leave in a hurry. Instead, I searched the entire house. I went through every single room, convinced I was going to open a closet or look under a bed and see her stuffed in there, grinning at me. That didn't happen, obviously, but I was still extremely on edge as the sun started to go down. That night, I propped a chair against my bedroom door because I just couldn't shake the feeling that the woman was still in the house somewhere, hiding. I woke up at around 2 in the morning and heard creaking floorboards downstairs. It was an old house and unfamiliar. I kept telling myself that until the noises stopped. When I woke up the next morning, there was a red sweet on the living room table. I'll tell you the same thing I told the police. No, I couldn't be absolutely certain that the sweet wasn't there the day before. Maybe I just overlooked it, but I didn't think so. They told me that the organization the woman claimed to come from didn't actually exist, and I was clearly wasting their time. After they left, I searched the entire house again, and the grounds. Then I searched them again. By the time I was finished, I managed to calm down a bit and look at the situation rationally. The woman probably left the suite there the previous day, and I just didn't notice. I had searched the whole house twice now. There was nowhere she could possibly be hiding. She was probably just some doddery old lady who wandered off while I was in the kitchen. As I prepared to go to bed, I had managed to fully delude myself into thinking nothing strange was going on. I decided not to do anything childish, like blocking my door again, because what was I afraid of? Even if she was somehow still inside the house somewhere, what could this old lady even do to me?
You got ganked.
At some point in the middle of the night, I woke up abruptly, knowing in the back of my mind that something was wrong.
What I mean by ganked, you think ganked only came from NWA when they had that phone call on the radio? No, ganked means like you messed up, but others don't say messed up. They say the other part. They use the word up. You know what I'm talking about.
I guess I must have heard something in my sleep. I turned onto my side and reached out to turn on the bedside lamp, groping around because I was in an unfamiliar room. When the light came on, I saw the old woman standing right next to my bed. I only got a glimpse of her because as soon as I screamed, she scuttled backward out the door really fast. I only got the briefest glimpse of her before she vanished into the unlit hallway outside my door. I now believe that the human brain has a special compartment for dealing with the experiences far outside of the realm of the natural. If I'd woken up to find a burglar in my room, I probably would have gone numb with panic. If there was a lion at the foot of my bed, I'd be too paralyzed with fear to do anything. But as soon as I saw the woman was gone. That special compartment took over. I jumped out of bed and slammed the door shut, then shoved a chair up against the handle. Then I dashed for my phone. No signal, no internet. I later found out that there was nothing wrong with the phone or the local service. I think she was interfering with it somehow.
That's what I hate the most. And in fact, that's the worst case scenario and the worst situation to be in. And if you it's like say like in a rural area, I mean like so rural, like your houses are like within miles of each other, or like a quarter mile. It's like one time around my school track. That's how far the houses are from each other, like in a rural area that I'm talking about. It's like you invite like some stranger from like a quarter mile or 3 miles max. Either drove, but they didn't say she drove. She just came to your house, and it's a big house. You gotta find everything, like know which place is where. But this lady, like I said, I don't care how old you are, you ain't coming to my house. I don't know you. I need your name, like the basic information, not personal, the basic, all of that. That's how my family be. That's how I be. Like if I get a call from like a whole nother state, I ain't answering it. If you're in my city and you call me, I'm answering. Unless it's the first 3 numbers that I know. I only know the first 3 numbers of every phone call and number on my phone. But you invited a stranger in a rural area, you really messed up. The cops can't do nothing. I almost can't say anything else right now. Oh, man. I would say put your shoes on and just run. But if someone catches you and try to kidnap you or something, you've been ganked. You know what I mean by ganked, because I told you earlier in there. Man.
The drop from the bedroom window wasn't too high. If I landed just right, I'd probably avoid injury. But what if I sprained an ankle or broke my leg? I had a sudden vision of pulling myself across the dark garden while the woman sprinted after me, and I decided I didn't want to risk it. That gave me 2 options: wait out the night in my bedroom, or try to get out of the house now. I went for the second one. I had an idea my flimsy barricade wouldn't hold if the woman decided they wanted back in. I broke one of the chair legs off and crept slowly into the hallway, reaching carefully for the light switch. When I pressed it, the lights came on for a second, then faded out. I flicked the switch a few more times, nothing. Some gut instinct told me she was sabotaging them somehow. I used my phone for light as I slowly, quietly crept along the upstairs hallway and down the stairs. The light barely traced the shapes of the walls in the dark, yawning frames of open doorways. I jumped at every single shadow and unidentifiable shape, certain that any second that grinning face would appear out of the shadows. I got downstairs and to the front door. I had double locked it and put the chain in place. Just as I was reaching for the first lock, I heard rapid, uneven footsteps at the top of the stairs approaching swiftly. I undid the first lock. A high-pitched shriek came from halfway down the stairs, and I screamed as I undid the second lock and wrenched the door open. It stuck fast. I had forgotten the chain. I glanced behind me and saw the tall, spindly shape of the woman half running, half falling down the stairs toward me, with her head lolling backward and her mouth hanging open. I can't even remember getting the chain off. I might actually have just yanked the door open so hard that I broke it. In any case, the last I saw of the woman was her face inches away from me as I slammed the door shut. I sprinted to the nearest house, and eventually they called the police, possibly because I was half delirious with fear and babbling incoherently. The police once again failed to find anything unusual. It's been a week. I'm staying at a friend's place, sleeping with the lights on and the bedroom door barricaded. The house's real owners aren't back yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to tell them, but I have to stop them from going back there somehow. This is not a haunting. It's an infestation. I can't stop thinking about all of the holes in our defenses, the windows and doors left open, the strangers invited into our living rooms. I just hope to God it's the house she wanted and not me.
Alright. So there you have it. That's why you don't invite strangers to your house, kids. Whatever. But still, don't invite strangers to your house. Because he got ganked, messed up, ended up having to go to a friend's house, being scared, all of that. But even though me not being scared of anything, I still won't invite a stranger into the house. Because, for one, I'm telling like, there's so many things why I would say don't invite a stranger into the house. For one, if my mother's not here and there's a stranger in the house, like I don't even know, or maybe like barely know, like I just know his or her name, they might try to come to my bedroom or just like browse around the house for some reason. Like, dude, like why the hell are you like in this room or that room? I don't mind you using my bathroom though, but I'm just telling you this, just make sure you don't mess with my personal stuff around the house. There's one of the rooms you could go in are in the bathroom and the living room, and that's it. But if I die in the living room, it's called the dead room. Wait, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I know some might laugh and some won't, but still, kids out there, teens out there, that's why they say don't invite strangers into your house. No matter what. No. Just because she looks good or he looks good or he looks familiar or sounds familiar, don't. That's why. And, so I had a story about with a stranger. This time, this stranger is not at my house. My mom was at my house. She was washing her car or either inside washing dishes and stuff. I'm on my scooter. This happened about 5.5 years ago. So that means 2018. That's almost 6 years. Yeah, that's back in 2012. Yes. I'm about to leave 4th grade, and I'm on my scooter just riding past by to this random guy that finally came outside. Like, every day during the week, I used to go, like, I say, Mom, can I go outside? Can I go outside? Can I go ride my scooter? But she tells me just like to stay on this street. When I was a bit younger, I was like about to make 10. I was only 9 years old then. Until I stopped my scooter at this dude's house because he wanted me to get something out of his trailer. And my mom barely remembers this story. I have better memory though. So I was stupid enough to lay my scooter down in his yard and go into his shed, which is like by his truck. It's in the front yard. His shed's in the front yard, which is the good thing. But none of this is good. Don't try to do what I do. I needed to get a lawnmower out of the back of the shed. Because I always know when something's up, except for this case scenario, like this case here. And the thing I shouldn't have done, first of all, was even respond to him. Second of all, I had my iPod Touch at the house instead of in my pocket because I had a phone number. So I could have called anybody. So I felt stupid for not having a phone on me. But anyway, I didn't have service. I didn't have Wi-Fi. So that's my excuse for not having a resource on me. So I walked into the shed, like real close to getting the lawnmower out for him. But then I just ran out there, got on my scooter, and then just rode back to the house and tell my mom the same story. And he was really quiet too until he's like, "Hey man, can you come get this lawnmower from me?" But nah. Hell no. I ain't doing nothing for you. If I don't know you, don't know your face, know your name, no. I ain't doing crap for you. Nothing. But if I know you long enough for me to trust you, I will be glad to help you. Like her next door neighbor. I know him and his wife pretty well and their son. Cause I went to high school with him. Until I moved out and went to another high school. Because after all, he graduated when I was a freshman. Then I just moved out when I was a sophomore. So we cooperate pretty well. So I trust them for like almost anything. If they need help, I'd be glad to help. But with the other dude that lives down the street when I was riding my scooter, I ain't gonna help you. I ain't gonna help him. No. Because there's also an incident happening. They have DV down there. DV means domestic violence. I just shorten it with DV. So I ain't go down there. I just go around the area, which go on another street and a block, and I just make either my turn, my left or the right turn. But if I want to go down my street, I have to go down another street, make a left. Make a right, then make a left, then go down my street, and boom, I'm at the house. Safe and sound, because I heard nothing from the other streets in my subdivision. Nothing goes on except for some people getting into it, all that stuff. Like, nah, that's not me. I'm just here to live a normal childhood that I'm about to leave in 3 years or 6. I'm not sure, because there's so much in this world that you may get into trouble with. Like, I say, maybe fights, crimes, peer pressure, which I never got into. Because, I forgot to add this. This is not cliche. When I looked at that dude's face when I was, barely touching the, lawnmower, I just tapped it. I looked back. He was looking dead at me. His eyes were wide. That's when I just ran out the shed. I forgot to add that. I just didn't want to mention the look on his face because I wasn't scared. I just wanted to notify my mother. She didn't call the cops. I didn't call the police because it wasn't that much of a big deal. She just told me, like, don't trust strangers. Don't talk to strangers. In fact, you know the rest. Don't do anything with strangers. If somebody says you got free candy, they don't have candy. They say you got free Wi-Fi, don't get the password, don't get anything from it. Just keep on moving and don't stop. Just click that engine on, slow that pedal down. Just swerve on your car. Make a U-turn. And all of that. Amen. So that's the only thing that got into my brain when I was watching this story called Never Invite Strangers from Mr. Nightmare. It's from it's like his first story and my first time me seeing it. So this is how it is on my channel. I will always subscribe back. My YouTube channel, my REACTION.CAM channel here. If you're on REACTION.CAM, fans, if you're new to this channel, subscribe. I subscribe right back because I get notifications on who subscribed and who didn't. So if you subscribed and I haven't subscribed back, you can notify me. But you'll see a notification. And all I gotta say now is peace, deuces, and God bless.